Violence against women and girls, VAWG, remains a pressing issue in many societies, including northern Nigeria, where faith and culture deeply influence daily life. This video explores the findings of a comprehensive action research report by the Women's Rights Advancement and Protection Alternative supported by Ford Foundation, which seeks to clarify Islamic perspectives on VAWG and challenge harmful interpretation. Historically, legal systems in Nigeria have combined colonial laws with Islamic jurisprudence, sometimes resulting in conflicting approaches to women's rights and protection. The research highlights how certain interpretations of religious texts, like the Quranic term wadribuhana, have been misused to justify violence, despite Islam's foundational principles of compassion, justice, and protection. By returning to the original sources and engaging scholars, this initiative aims to disentangle divine guidance from cultural practices that perpetuate harm. Let's begin by understanding the historical and legal background that shapes these issues. Nigeria's legal landscape is shaped by both the Penal Code in the north and the Criminal Code in the south, each carrying legacies of colonial and religious influences. Section 55(1)(d) of the Penal Code, for example, has been interpreted to allow a husband to correct his wife, provided no grievous harm is done. However, this provision, along with others, often conflicts with constitutional guarantees and international human rights standards. Research underscores that such laws and their misapplication undermine women's dignity and perpetuate discrimination. Importantly, the Quranic guidance on marital discord, specifically the term wadribuhana, is frequently misunderstood. Rather than a license for violence, Islamic teachings emphasize a structured, compassionate approach to resolving marital issues, with physical discipline as an absolute last resort and under strict limitation. This scene unpacks these legal and theological nuances, setting the stage for a deeper look at Islamic prescriptions for kindness and justice. The heart of Islamic family law is the principle of kindness and mutual respect. The Quran and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, consistently emphasize compassion, fairness, and the protection of women's dignity. The research clarifies that while the Quran mentions a sequence for addressing marital discord, admonition, separation in bed, and as a last resort, symbolic striking, this is not a blanket justification for violence. Prophet himself never struck a woman and condemned those who did, calling them the worst of men. Islamic scholars agree that any form of harm, especially severe or humiliating acts, is strictly forbidden. Furthermore, if harm occurs, the husband is legally and financially liable and the wife has the right to seek redress. This scene highlights the true spirit of Islamic guidance, upholding justice, preventing harm, and fostering reconciliation, not perpetuating abuse. Research concludes with clear recommendations for legal and social reform. It calls for the repeal of discriminatory legal provisions, such as Section 55(1)(d) of the Penal Code and unequal punishments in the Criminal Code. There is a strong emphasis on public enlightenment, educating both men and women about the authentic Islamic stance on marital relations and the rights of women. The report also advocates for the domestication of the Violence Against Persons, VAPP, Act across all Nigerian states and encourages further research into the cultural and religious factors influencing VAWG. Ultimately, the path forward requires collaboration among scholars, legal practitioners, community leaders, and policymakers to ensure that laws and practices align with both constitutional rights and the compassionate ethos of Islam. By fostering awareness and reform, society can better protect women and girls and uphold the values of justice and dignity for all.